4.5 million years ago, this land was the stage for life's most brutal theater. In the vast cradle of humanity, where every heartbeat was measured against the rhythm of the wild, survival was not a gift, it was earned. Below the spreading arms of an acacia tree, a small band of Homo habilis begins to stir. Their bodies are lean, built for endurance. Their minds, sharper than those of the beasts that roam these plains. The air is cool now, but the sun's ascent will soon burn the ground beneath their feet. Across the open grassland, predators are already on the move, silent, patient, deadly. For these early humans, the day ahead will be a tightrope walk between hunger and danger. Every choice, every step will decide who eats and who is eaten. This is their story. Morning on the African savanna brings no promises, only possibilities and threats. For Homo habilis, the day begins not with idle chatter, but with movement. Silence is a shield. Noise is an invitation to danger. They have survived the night of victory in itself. But now, thirst gnaws at their resolve. The nearest waterhole is a short walk away. And yet, in this world, a short walk can become the last one. They move in a loose formation. Eyes scanning the waving grass, ears tuned to the faintest rustle. Each step is deliberate, the rhythm of beings who know the land as both provider and predator. Their tools are crude stone flakes, but in skilled hands, they are the thin line between life and death. The waterhole, an oasis carved by countless seasons. Here, every creature comes to drink the gentle and the lethal alike. Even now, eyes lie just beneath the surface. One wrong step, one careless lean, and the hunter below will rise in a blur of teeth and muscle. They know this danger well. The leader drinks first quick, shallow gulps, then steps back. Others follow, keeping low, ready to spring away. The thirst is eased, but never entirely quenched. The savanna gives, and reminds them that it can take without warning. Now, with the cool of morning fading, they must turn to the other hunger, the one that will drive them into the heart of danger. The hunt. Out there lies meat rich, rare, and fiercely contested. It will take cunning, speed, and unity to claim it, and even more to keep it. On the savanna, every hunt is a gamble, and the stakes are life itself. For Homo habilis, meat is more than a meal. It is survival, strength, and the difference between endurance and exhaustion. On the African savanna, such a prize will not wait to be taken. Every predator knows the worth of flesh, and they are not the only hunters watching this herd. Their tools are simple, sharpened flakes of stone chipped from river rocks. Inexperienced hands would see them as useless shards. But here, in practiced fingers, they are deadly weapons, the savanna's first forged edges. One wrong move, one sound too loud, and the hunt will end before it begins. They strike. The central hunter charges forward, driving the zebra toward the flanking pair. The startled animal bolts exactly where they want it to go. In the wild, speed is everything. But unity is the difference between an empty stomach and a full belly. They move as one each step, each shout, each swing, part of a plan older than memory. It is over quickly. The savanna does not allow long battles, only swift victories or swift escapes. Today, the hunters prevail. Nothing will be wasted. Hide, sinew, marrow all have purpose. For Homo habilis, this is not just food. It is survival woven into every fiber of their being. But on the savanna, victory draws attention, and attention can turn hunters into hunted. On the savanna, victory is never final. Every kill sends a silent signal across the plains, the scent of blood, carried on the wind. To the predators that roam here, it is an invitation and an opportunity. In the grass, death waits. Not in the form of claws and fur, but scales and venom. A giant monitor lizard, older than memory itself, moving with a slow, relentless purpose. Homo habilis is not the only hunter here, and this reptile knows no fear of their crude weapons. It has stolen kills before. It will steal again. In a heartbeat, triumph turns to peril. They know the rules of this game. To hold their ground means to risk their lives. To run means to lose their hard-won prize. The choice is made in instinct, not debate. Stone meets scale in a desperate clash. The reptile twists, snapping at legs, at arms, its saliva, a venom, laced promise of death. They shout, stamp, throw rocks, anything to drive it back. But its focus is on the meat, and it will not yield easily. In the wild, the predator's bite is not just pain. It is poison, infection, a slow death if left untended. The band surges forward, striking harder, their unity now driven by fury. The carcass lies abandoned, the zebra's blood soaking into the earth. The price of keeping it would have been far higher than the prize itself. They leave it behind, because on the Savanna, survival is the only victory that matters. Meat can be replaced, a life cannot. And so they retreat, carrying their wounded through a land that never stops hunting them. The hunt is over. The prize is gone. All that remains is the task that matters most, to save one of their own. In a world without medicine, without sanctuary, every injury is a race against time. The venom in the dragon's saliva will not kill quickly, but infection will. Without treatment, fever will take him in days. They know this not in words, but in the unbroken chain of memory passed down through survival itself. Now, the Savanna is more dangerous than before. Their speed is reduced, their defenses weakened, and predators sense weakness the way fire senses fuel. Every sound could be the whisper of death. They must reach shelter before the sun dips, before the plains turn from dangerous to lethal. Their medicine is the land itself, leaves that draw out infection, mud that cools and seals the wound, bark fibers wound tight to slow the bleeding. Primitive, yet effective enough to tip the balance between life and death. Here, survival is never an individual's triumph. It belongs to the group. Alone, he would be lost within hours. Together, they can carry him to the night. The Savanna watches. Always. Shelter. Not safety. There is no such thing here but enough stone and height to rest, to watch, to wait. There is no fire yet. The dry season has made kindling scarce, so the night will be cold. But the rocks will keep most predators at bay, and the group's closeness will provide warmth. In this quiet, their bonds are visible. In the sharing of food, in the watchful eyes on the horizon, in the unspoken promise that they will not leave one behind. But night is not rest. Night is the reign of the hunters. The great cats move unseen in the grass. Hyenas call to each other in the dark. For Homo Habilis, darkness is the true test of their resolve. They have survived the day. Tomorrow will demand it again, and the day after. Here, survival is not a victory. It is a rhythm, and it never stops. A new day rises, but for this small band of Homo Habilis, there will be no hunt today. The bite of the Komodo dragon still lingers in the leg of the wounded hunter. Until he can walk without faltering, they will stay. In the wild, movement is life, but movement with weakness can be death. Their medicine is born from the earth itself, leaves with oils that draw infection, clay that cools the heat of swelling, fibers that hold flesh together when it wants to part. Pain is not avoided here. Pain is endured. Every sting and burn is a step away from death. Life does not stop, even in recovery. While one heals, the rest sustain the group. Each role, forager, watchman, caretaker, is part of the same heartbeat. The Savanna never rests. Predators hunt, prey flees, and the cycle turns. Even in stillness, they must remain ready. Midday is the time for conserving strength. The heat can drain the body faster than hunger or thirst. In this land, knowing when to wait is as important as knowing when to act. In the sharing of food, in the touch of a hand, in the watchful eyes over a sleeping companion, the roots of humanity take hold. Healing is measured not in days, but in the strength to take one more step than yesterday. The feast of yesterday is gone. Today's meal is small, yet enough to keep the body from failing. In times like these, abundance is not measured in size, but in survival. Oh, it is here, in these moments of quiet unity, that they endure. Not through strength alone, but through the will to care for each other. But the Savanna does not allow long peace. The night hunters wake early, and they have smelled food. They have little to offer in battle but their numbers and their noise. Sometimes it is enough. This time, danger passes without blood. Tomorrow it may not. But for tonight, they remain together, alive. Recovery brings a different kind of hunger, not for the feast of a zebra, but for anything that can keep the body moving. With the injured man unable to hunt, the burden falls to the few who can. This morning, they will not chase prey across the grassland. They will hunt opportunity. On the Savanna, food can come from places that walk, and from places that do not. Eggs rich, dense with life, are one of the rare prizes worth the risk. But they belong to creatures that will fight for them. With the same ferocity they guard their own lives. They have found it. A nesting site. And the scent is fresh, too fresh. Somewhere nearby, the mother watches. The monitor is ancient patience, made flesh. It can wait for hours without moving. And if disturbed, it will defend its clutch with bone-shattering force. This is the moment. Once she is gone, they will have only minutes before she returns. Each egg is a meal dense enough to keep a hunter strong for days. In this land, such bounty cannot be ignored, even when it comes wrapped in danger. But danger is never far. The Savanna does not grant easy victories. She has come back, and she sees the theft. They cannot fight her here, not without risking another crippling bite. The only weapon now is speed. A successful hunt is not just in the taking, but in the bringing home, and every step closer to the rocks brings them further from her reach. They have done it. In a place where even the smallest scrap is fought over, they have taken life from under the nose of a killer and lived. Soon, the band will eat the injured, the young, the strong. In the crack of each shell, in the passing of each portion, there is more than food. There is the shared victory of survival, the proof that together they can take from this land what it would rather keep. For the first time in days, the air holds the smell of a real meal. The eggs hiss as their shells split, releasing the rich scent of life contained within. It is a rare victory on the Savanna, not a feast for celebration, but a feast for survival. Here, food is not hoarded. It is shared especially with those who cannot hunt for themselves. The injured men's strength must return if the band is to endure. And so, their first thought is not of their own hunger, but of the one who was nearly lost. In this simple gesture, the smallest hand carrying the hard-won prize to the one who bled for the group, there is a truth older than words. Survival belongs to the many, not the one. They do not eat together because it is tradition. They eat together because the act binds them. Every mouth fed is a promise renewed that they will defend one another as fiercely as they defend their own lives. And even the smallest meal can feel abundant when danger has been faced and beaten. The taste is richer not because of the food itself, but because of the story it carries, the risk taken, the chase endured, the triumph earned. For this moment, the land outside the rocks does not matter. No predator prowls close. No hunger gnaws at their bellies. No decision must be made except who will take the next bite. In his nod is approval, gratitude, and a silent understanding. They have survived another trial. Tomorrow, they will face another. But for now, there is only the warmth of the fire and the weight of food in their stomachs. On this ledge, in the heart of the African wild, safety is always temporary. But moments like these, brief, fragile, and shared, are the reason they keep fighting. Not just to live, but to live together. The rhythm of life here is unrelenting. Hunger, danger, rest, and hunger again. But for Homo Habilis, each small victory is enough. Because on this land, enough is all there ever is. The fire has burned down to ash. The eggs are gone. Bellies are full for now, but hunger is never far. On this land, peace lasts only as long as the predators allow. They do not know what tomorrow will bring. A hunt, a fight, a loss. But they know it will come, as surely as the sun will rise. Because here, in the cradle of humanity, survival is not a destination. It is a rhythm. For Homo habilis, there is no end to the cycle. Only the next day, the next step, the next breath. And that is enough. It has to be.